Imagine you committed to one thing for 90 days. Not a routine, not a system, not a set of rules to follow. Just one product, the same one, every day. No swapping on bad days. No trying something else when doubt shows up. No exceptions for travel or convenience or curiosity. 90 days, unchanged. Most people, when they hear that, feel something tighten slightly. A quiet resistance. Because somewhere in the back of their mind, 90 days without the option to adjust feels less like discipline and more like risk. What if it does not work? What if your skin gets worse? What if you waste 3 months on the wrong thing and end up exactly where you started, except further behind? That resistance is worth paying attention to, because it reveals something important about the way you have been approaching this problem all along. You have never actually run this experiment, not cleanly, not without an exit. And that is not a criticism. It is just a fact that most people in your position share. You have been consistent in the way that feels like consistency. You used the same product for a few weeks. You did not dramatically overhaul your routine. You were careful. You paid attention. But 90 days without switching is a different thing entirely. And almost nobody has done it. The reason is not impatience. That is the easy explanation, and it misses the point. The reason is that doubt arrives before the window closes. And when doubt arrives, switching feels like a rational response. Your skin has an unpredictable day around week 2 or 3. You notice it. You start watching more closely. By week 4, you are checking your skin differently than you were at the start. You are looking for evidence, measuring progress against an expectation that may not have been realistic in the first place. By week 5 or 6, the thought arrives. Maybe this is not right for me. Maybe I need something with a different texture. Maybe the formula is not suitable for my skin type. And the thought feels considered. It does not feel like giving up. It feels like using the information available to make a smarter decision. So you switch, and the whole window resets. What you do not see, because you are inside the cycle, is that the doubt arrived on schedule. Not because the product was failing, because that is when doubt always arrives. Around the point where nothing dramatic has happened yet, and patience starts to feel indistinguishable from passivity. The window broke not because the product stopped working, because the discomfort of waiting became harder to sit with than the discomfort of starting over. And starting over always feels productive. There is momentum in a new decision. There is hope in a new product. There is the familiar feeling of doing something, which is easier to tolerate than the unfamiliar feeling of doing nothing differently and trusting the process to move. Here is what the 90-day experiment actually tests. It does not test the product. Any reasonable moisturizer used consistently over that window will give your skin something it has almost certainly never had before. A stable input, a constant variable in an environment that has been full of variables for years. What the experiment tests is the consistency itself. Whether you can hold the window without an exit. Whether you can sit with doubt when it arrives and not act on it. Whether you can let the process run without interrupting it at the point where interrupting it feels most justified. That is the harder thing, and it is the thing that determines whether you ever see a result. Your skin does not need a perfect product. It needs a consistent one. And the difference between those two things is the difference between a search that never ends and a window that finally closes. When the same input arrives every day, without variation, your skin stops doing one thing and starts doing another. It stops detecting change and starts responding to constancy. That shift does not happen in a week. It does not announce itself. It happens quietly, in the background, over a window that most people abandon before they reach it. The 90-day mark is not arbitrary. It maps to something real about how skin behaves over time, not a clinical threshold, a practical one. Long enough for the adjustment phase to pass. Long enough for reactivity to settle. long enough to see what your skin does when it is no longer managing constant variation. Most people have been 3 or 4 weeks away from that window their entire adult life, and they have never crossed it. What happens on the other side of that window is not dramatic. That is worth saying clearly, because the expectation of transformation is part of what makes the experiment feel so high stakes. If you are waiting for a visible shift, a clear before and after, you will likely miss what actually changes. What changes is quieter than that. Your skin stops being something you think about all the time, not because it has become perfect, because it has become predictable. You know what it is going to feel like in the morning. You stop scanning it for information every time you catch your reflection. You stop holding the option open to switch because the question of whether to switch has stopped feeling relevant. That predictability is what comfortable skin actually feels like. Not flawless, not transformed, just stable, just reliable in a way it has not been before. And from that stability, something else becomes possible. You can start to notice what your skin actually responds to. Not product changes, because there are none. Real variables: sleep, water, stress, season. The things that actually move the needle, which you could never see clearly before because the product was always changing alongside them. The experiment gives you a clean read, for possibly the first time, on what your skin is actually doing when the variables are removed. That is the information you have been trying to find through searching, and searching can never give it to you. Only the window can. If you have never finished a 90-day window without switching, there is one question worth answering before anything else. Not which product to try, not how to structure a routine. Where your consistency actually breaks down. The specific point in the window where doubt arrives and the search starts again. That question is linked in the video description. It takes 30 seconds. It will show you exactly where the pattern interrupts itself. Answer it before you make another decision about your skin. The experiment is simpler than it sounds. One product. 90 days. No exits. The resistance you felt when you first imagined it, that tightening, that quiet concern about wasting time on the wrong thing, that is not a warning. That is the signal that you have been here before, that you have started this experiment without finishing it. The window is still open. It has always been open. You just have not held it long enough to see what is on the other side.